Okay, so back for the last part of 1-6. So this part may be the most tricky because we're going to be translating words into algebraic equations and then solving it. So up on the top, we have kind of hints for you as to what symbols mean everything that you need to write down here. So this is a really good page of notes to have when you're doing the assignment or you're doing the quiz. You could have the notes open and just have this up on your screen at any time. Okay, so words that mean this symbol would be add, plus, sum, increased by, or more than. So these are trigger words for the word plus, okay? So subtraction, we've got subtract, minus, the difference is the answer to a subtraction problem. If we have increased by here, we have to have decreased by over here because these two operations are opposites. If we have more than here, we're going to have less than here. I'll talk about why that is highlighted in a second. Okay, and then we also have takeaway. These words all here kind of hint that we need multiplication. So multiply times product is the answer to a multiplication problem. Double means I'm multiplying something by 2, or if I say triple, I'm multiplying it by 3. There are others, quadruple, quintuple, but we don't see those very often. Okay, and then we have division words, divide. Quotient is the answer to a division problem. The word into means to divide, and again, I'll talk about why that's highlighted in a second. If I say half a number, that means I'm dividing a number by 2. Or if I say a third of a number, that means I'm dividing it by 3. Okay, so the highlighted words happen in subtraction and division. And that's because with addition and multiplication, the order doesn't matter. If you remember the commutative property, it says I can add in any order, and it doesn't matter, and I can multiply in any order. It doesn't matter. But that does not apply for subtraction or division, okay? Because if I were to take 7 minus 5, that would be different than 5 minus 7. So with all the words that aren't highlighted, you're just going to put the numbers in order that it says in the problem, okay? But if it's one of the highlighted words like less than or into, those are what I call turnaround words. And we have to reverse the order of the words in the sentence, okay? We'll get to a problem. I'll do an example of a problem like that in just a minute. Okay, so it says translate each sentence into an equation and then solve the equation. So the first one is the quotient. Quotient indicates we're going to be using division, okay? And notice here we have parentheses. So we don't have parentheses, we have commas. So the commas kind of denote where we would have parentheses in a problem or grouping certain parts. So here we're going to have this whole part is kind of together. So the number and 2 is going to be divided. When I see the words a number, we're going to use a variable. I'm just going to use n. You can use whatever variable you want. Okay, just be careful with which ones might look like numbers like S, L, O, B, or Z. So quotient of a number and 2 means I'm going to take the number and then divide it by 2. Okay, it's usually nice if we can write division this way. It's just a little bit easier to work with when we're solving. Okay, and then we're going to have that whole thing, and then we're going to minus 9. So we're going to subtract 9 from that. Okay, the word is in algebra means equals. So we're going to write equals 14. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and draw our line because we need to solve this. So the first thing to get n by itself is I have to get rid of the addition or subtraction. I'm going to do that by adding 9 to both sides. And then n over 2 is going to get brought down. And on the right, 14 plus 9 is 23. So to solve this, I want to get rid of division by 2. So I'm going to do that by multiplying by 2 on each side. Okay, and my solution here is n equals 46. Okay, so the next one, the sum of 15 and 7 times a number is 99. So this one does not have any commas in it. So we have to kind of read it as is. The sum of 15 and whatever is 99. So is means equals, right? So sum means addition. So we're going to be adding this part and the whole other part that goes up to the equals. Okay, so sum of this and all of this. So we're going to write 15 plus, and then 7 times a number means we're going to use a variable like n. So I'm going to write 7 times n is means equals, and then we have 99. Okay, so now I'm going to draw my dividing line. First thing I want to get rid of is the 15 that's hanging out by itself. It's positive, so I'm going to subtract it. Bring down that 7n. Okay, 99 minus 15 is 84. Then I have 7 times n, so I'm going to divide by 7. And our solution is going to be n equals 12. Okay, the last one is a number decreased by 7 and then divided by 7, or by 5, sorry, is 13. So again, is means equals. That part's pretty easy. So a number, we're going to use a variable. Decreased by means subtract. That is not one of these turnaround words, so we can do it in this order. So decreased by 7 and then divided by 5. So first of all, we have to do a number decreased by 7. So the number decreased by 7, and it says, and then I'm going to divide by 5. So what that means is I have to group this whole thing is going to get divided by 5. So this is one of those where I have to write it over 5 like that. And then is means equals 13. So this is just like one of those we did on the previous part of this lesson. We're going to draw a dividing line to get rid of division by 5 first. We're going to multiply by 5. So we have n minus 7 equals 13 times 5 is 65. And then to get rid of this minus 7, I'm going to add 7. And we're going to have n equals 72. Okay, the only thing I didn't talk about so far are these takeaway or turnaround words. So for example, if I said 6 less than a number is 13. Okay, so 6 less than means subtract, but this is one of those takeaway or turnaround words. So instead of 6 minus a number, we're going to flip that around and do the number minus 6 is means equals and then 13. So we got to be careful about those turnaround words. That just means reverse the order of what's in the problem. Okay, another example is if I use the word into. So let's say I did 5 into a number increased by is 14. Okay. Notice there's a comma here, which means 5 into a number is going to get grouped by itself. Into is division. Okay. It is a turnaround word. So instead of 5 divided by n, we're going to turn that around and do n divided by 5. And that needs to get grouped together. So n divided by 5 goes by itself. And then it says increased by 2 after that. So I'm going to add 2. Is means equals, and then we have 14. Okay, so I hope that gives you some insight into how to use those turnaround words. But as always, if you have any questions, feel free to ask by either asking in class if you're in person, or if you're virtual, send me an email or post it in the comments for this lesson. Good luck.